In this lecture, we're going to see how you can group your animations using parallel animations or sequential animations. We're going to go to Qt Creator and play with us. Here we are in Qt Creator. We're going to create our project. It's a Qt Quick application. We call it Grouped Animations Demo. We save it in the usual location. Choose our Qt version, choose your kit, and finish. We want to change the title here to say grouped. We want to give it an ID and define a property for animation duration. It's going to start at 500. Inside, we want to have a rectangle. Let's put some space here. We want it to fill the parent, and we want its color to be gray. Inside, we have another rectangle. Its ID is going to be circle ID because we want this to be a circle. Width is going to be 100, height is going to be 100, and its radius, we're going to make it big enough to make it a circle, so I'm going to put in 70 here. And its color is going to be yellow, green. Why not? Now we want to animate it. What we want to animate is its X position and its Y position. And we want to wrap those animations in either a parallel animation or a sequential animation. These animations are exactly what they sound like. Parallel animations makes your animations happen at the same time in parallel, and sequential animations make them run one after another. We're going to start by sequential animation. We're going to give it an ID. This will do. And it's going to contain two number animations. We want to do it like this. We want to make them stand alone. For the first one, the target is going to be circle ID. The property is going to be X. It is going to animate to root ID width minus width. It's going to start from 0. And the duration is going to be animation duration that we specified at the start of this lecture here. The properties are really going to be the same for the other animation, so we're going to copy this and put that here, and we should flag here that we want to animate X. This is better for readability if we come back to look at this piece of code later. We want to animate circle ID. The property is going to be Y. We're going to animate height minus height. And it should start at 0. This is what we want. And when we click in this parent rectangle here, we want to start the animation. So we should put our mouse area inside. It's going to fill the parent. And when it is clicked, we want to reset the values. And animate. So we say circle ID. Because its X and Y might have been changed by the animation, we want to reset that to 0. So we say X equals 0, circle ID, Y equals 0. This is how we reset. And we want to start this sequential animation here. I actually think this ID is not adequate, so I'm going to change this to grouped anim ID. And the way you start the animation is the usual thing, really. You say grouped anim ID start, and we should have our animation running. Notice that it is a sequential animation that we have here, And this side, we are animating X and we are animating Y. So what is going to happen? Our circle here is going to move from left to right, and then it's going to move from top to bottom. And all that is going to happen in this time duration here. Now we can run the application. Okay, you see we have our yellow-green rectangle. We click, nothing happens. Why is that? Why is that? Let's go back to our mouse area. And if you look, we made a small mistake. The two locations should be in relation to the circle ID. So we shouldn't say minus width here. We should say circle ID width. Let's correct that. Okay, circle ID width and circle ID height here. It is easy to make mistakes like this. Let's run. If we click in the gray area, you see that it goes from left to right and then from top to bottom. This is what we want. And if you notice, I put a debug statement in here to just know that I clicked in the mouse area. I'll have to have my debug information. You can take it out if you want. It is this line here. Okay, this is a sequential animation. If we wanted, we would do that in parallel. So we can actually comment this out. This is going to be messy, but it's going to remind you that you can do sequential and parallel animation. So we're going to say parallel animation and put a bracket like this. So we changed the sequential animation to a parallel animation. And if you want to switch, you can just uncomment and comment the other. We're going to run the application and try to guess what's going to happen. Our animation is going to happen at the same time. It is moving from left to right and from top to bottom at the same time. That's why you see it move like this along this diagonal line. This is what we have. This is really all there is to working with sequential and parallel animation. But before we wrap up this lecture, I would like to show you a little bit about easings and overshoots. I'm going to go to this Y animation here, and I'm going to set an easing type. It's going to be easing out to bounce. And the amplitude, we can set the amplitude for this thing. Let's make that 3. Run the application and see what it looks like. If you run, you see that it looks like a bouncing ball. And this is one of the effects you can achieve using easings. This is cool, right? Okay, this is all we have for this lecture. In the next one, we're going to do a demo and animate a ball falling from the top. I'll see you there.